Hi, Onward Church. I'm Nia Baker. If we haven't met in person, I hope to one day soon do that, and hopefully even face to face in our worshiping space. I'm here because I've spoken to Janelle a little bit about some fun things, or funny and serious things, to offer the community right now as we are all going through this COVID-19 quarantine. And I was thinking a little bit about that. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a therapist. I primarily work with women who've been trafficked, sexually abused, as well as there typically is a line of addiction running through their experience. And I also do work with some private practice clients as well, and often work with primarily women, but some men who experience difficulties processing things somatically or sensory physically, usually the result of trauma. And one of the things I was thinking about so much around what we are all currently in is, and I'm not the first to say it, I'm sure you've heard numerous people say that we are currently in an experience of global trauma. And so right now, having an answer, which is what I think our brain is asking all of us to do, is like, figure this out. Are you going to be safe? Are you going to be healthy? Are you going to be financially able to take care of yourselves and your family? Are you going to be able to take care of your community? Is your community going to be able to take care of itself? What about other friends and relatives around the globe? Are they safe? Are they healthy? Are they struggling? And even before this, the answer has always been no. There's pain in the world. And now I think we are all experiencing it communally. And there's been a lot of emotions coming out of that, particularly in the last few days as I've watched a lot of unrest, as well as noticing the disparity in systems, how we're going to take this next step out, while at the same time we are currently in the midst of the trauma. And so I was thinking about what to even say today, and I really believe, as I've seen other therapists, mentors, spiritual leaders say during this time, that I don't think any of us really need someone to tell us that they're doing it right, or that they have the answer to what's going to save us right now. I do think we need to know that we belong to each other, to know that we are in this together, to know that there are ways to be present to our pain when it is visible, when it is in our conscious. And so I guess what I'll say to you today is a little bit about what I've been contemplating, and that's around something that I read and have learned a little bit about through a woman. Her name's Tara Brach. You might be familiar with her. She does meditations on loving kindness. And one of the things that she talks about is an experience of trance. And an experience of trance is simply noticing a disconnection from the present. So if we're mindfully aware of having a conversation with someone, or sitting and reading a book, or sitting outside in the sunshine, and then noticing that we've shifted away from connection, from love, to an experience that is actually based more on flight or fight. And this trance-like state that she calls it usually has some sort of message, and it's normally related to other experiences in our lives. So it could be whatever we're currently sensing in our environment is reminding us of a past trauma, reminding us of a past time where we felt vulnerable or hurt or scared. And then what actually happens is, rather than remaining open and flexible and connected and kind, we become disconnected and absorbed and wrapped and tangled with this trance-like state. And so I was going to read just a little bit. She has a book that came out recently. It's this book right here, Radical Compassion. And I really appreciated this just description at the beginning. And so today, just, if you're listening with me, give yourself a few moments to just hear what this is and notice for yourself, when throughout my day do I notice that disconnection, or that space between feeling connected to my body and my present, even if it's painful, even if it is bringing up pain, right? Uncertainty. And rather than moving into a trance-like state, which is trying to fix, solve, prepare, what would it be like to shift towards a compassionate presence? And that could be through prayer. It could be through meditation, some way of being present, some putting yourself around some physically warm and inviting, soothing things. And so just notice kind of what comes up for you. And then if this is something that you'd like to look into more, or just for yourself, notice and explore it. We are always the best teachers for ourselves, if we're willing to take in information and ask ourselves the questions of how it relates to who we are and who we want to become. So this is the first chapter, and I'm just going to read a short selection here. It starts with a quote. This may be familiar to some of you. "Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life." And that's by Martha Postlewit. "We all get lost in the dense forests of our lives, entangled in incessant worry and planning, in judgment of others, and our busy striving to meet demands and solve problems. When we're caught in that thicket, it's easy to lose sight of what matters most. We forget how much we long to be kind and open-hearted. We forget our ties to the sacred earth and to all living beings, and in a deep way, we forget who we are. This forgetting is a part of being in trance, a partially unconscious state that, like a dream, is disconnected from the whole of reality. When we're in trance, our minds are narrowed, fixated, and usually immersed in thought. Our hearts are usually defended, anxious, or numb. Once you recognize the signs of trance, you'll begin to see it everywhere, in yourself and others. You are in trance when you are living on autopilot, when you feel walled off and separate from those around you, when you are caught up in feeling fearful, angry, victimized, or deficient. When we are lost in the forest, we can create a clearing simply by pausing and turning from our clamoring thoughts to becoming aware of our moment-to-moment experience. This is an experience of immediate awareness or presence. When we've reconnected fully to presence, we can open to what is going on inside us, the changing flow of sensations, feelings, and thoughts without any resistance. This allows us to live our life moments with clarity and compassion. The shift from being lost in unconscious mental and emotional reactivity to inhabiting our full presence is an awakening. So in this moment, noticing your current experience right now, taking a breath and asking, what is my presence? Is there something pulling me from presence? From love and kindness and compassion, sense of belonging. And then rather than judging whatever that is, whatever that trance-like state is, asking, what can I learn? How can I offer kindness and compassion to myself, to my loved ones, simply by being present to whatever is. Sending you all love hope to see you soon, whether on a Zoom call or eventually in person, or, you know, waving from a distance. You are loved and you belong.